I'll just say really quick that I certainly appreciate Councilmember Rizzo bringing this proclamation forward. I stand in support with him.
Okay, thank you. All right, if there are no objections, we're going to move on. All right, next up, agenda item number 8, presentation regarding launch of Uber Kyle 314 program. Mayor Pro Tem, Coach, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, citizens, this transportation plan has been a long time coming. On December 4th, 2018, it was my second meeting on council, and the need for a transportation plan had been talked about for a while amongst other council members. And they were wrestling with the idea of creating a transportation plan. We had one in 2015 with the CARTS program that was getting very expensive, and that council ended that program. Then we had another subsequent taxi program come after that. And what it seemed like was that the cost per ride was just not worth it, but the need was still there for some sort of transportation model. Council wrestled with the question of who they're trying to create a transportation plan for. And on January 15th, 2019, a task force was created between myself, Councilmember Villalobos, who I wish was here right now, and then Councilmember Daphne Tenorio, along with staff, with Jerry Hendricks leading the way. We set out to look for a solution that we thought would be innovative. And what we really wanted to do was we wanted to create a program that would justify the cost per ride and make financial sense. We looked back at the old CARTS model in the last year of CARTS, and staff gave us presentations on 2 separate occasions where we talked about the amount of money spent per ride. In the last year of the CARTS bus program, we spent $74,000, and there was also a federal subsidy on top of that. And there was a total of 650 rides through that entire year. And only 11 people used it on a monthly basis. When we broke down the numbers, that cost $114 per ride. If we talked about rides that were only within the city limits of Kyle, that cost went to $286 per ride, because there was only 250-ish rides that year. So what we did is we set out to look for a rideshare program that we could adopt, and we went through several different vendors and finally found a what we believe is going to be a great partner in Uber. And this model, I'm going to let Jerry explain more about it, but what I'm excited about is that the money that we're putting towards this, we are looking at subsidizing $10 per ride and getting thousands more rides out of the money we spent. So instead of paying $286 per ride, we're going to be able to meet the needs of everybody in Kyle who wants to use this program, and pay $10 per ride, and the citizens will pay the first $3.14. We chose that number because it was pie. And we also have a communications app that we are launching along with it that has been worked on by our communications team as well as our IT team. So this is very exciting. I really want to thank Jerry Hendricks and the team for all the hours of hard work, all the negotiations that you guys have put in with Uber and other possible vendors. Jerry spent so much time and really kept the task force updated with everything that he was doing to try to meet this goal of really making this attainable. And what I love about it most is that it gives back to everybody in Kyle. This is a program that everybody can use. It's adopting something that the world already uses, and it's just makes great financial sense for us to basically embrace technology and find the most value for our dollar. And so, Jerry, thank you very much for all your hard work. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Matt. Just thank the team in general. Everybody's put in the time, the task force. I really wish Alex was here. Councilmember Villalobos was a great part of this. And Jerry, without further ado, please take it over, sir.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you for your leadership in this project. We've been working on the transportation issue in Kyle for quite some time, as you outlined, and finding a solution that works for everybody, that's affordable, has been elusive up until now. Before I get started with my presentation, I'd like to just call out some other members of our team. First, on the team from Uber, Chris Miller, I'd like to thank him he was my first contact with Uber. He was gracious enough to return my call and put us in touch with the rest of his organization. That was really instrumental and very helpful in being able to get this come forward. Without even knowing what our core values are, they distributed the yes attitude and the leading edge that we really ask for out of our staff and our team. And through Chris, we met Katie. Now we're on a first name basis, so I'm gonna really mess up these last names. But Katie Sivkin and John Magenti with Uber were key to, and we wouldn't be able to pull this off without them. And I think Katie's on the call. Really thankful to them. Our council member task force, Mayor Pro Tem Coach, council members Ellison and Villalobos, very helpful and instrumental as well. And then our staff, our communications director, Samantha Armbruster, our IT director, Matt Dawson, who came up with the really awesome app that is a driver of this program. Our city manager, Scott Sellers, Will Atkinson from our planning department, and Rachel Soner from our communications department. Without this team in place, we wouldn't have the awesome program that we have. So real quick, I'm gonna try to share my screen and go through our program. And then at the end, I'd like to invite our Uber partners to say a few words if they would like, and then answer questions. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Uber Kyle 314. And the 314, as was discussed earlier, is tribute to our Pie Capital of Texas brand, and something we're really proud of. And the way the program works is you'll have to go to our app. You'll read about the program on the app. You'll have a chance to link to our website for FAQ questions and download a voucher. Each month has a voucher that will pay up to $10 for 8 rides for you to go, 8 one-way trips in Kyle. You have to start in Kyle and you have to end in Kyle, and you can never leave Kyle. But our testing shows us that you can pretty much go from one corner of Kyle to the other corner for less than $10. So we believe this will cover all those trips. Another key component to this program that works side by side is our wave or wheelchair accessible vehicle component. If you're confined to a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair, you can use the same app, and you can call a vehicle that can accommodate your wheelchair, and it's the same cost for the wheelchair user as anybody else. We're very proud of this. We've worked very hard to make this happen, and we know that most people in Kyle have transportation, but we do have some that really need some help, and we're very proud to offer this to them. Once again, for either the regular user or the wheelchair user, you download the app and you download the voucher. Each month you'll have to download a new voucher. We ask for just some simple contact information in exchange for that, and then off you go. The one minor difference with the wave part of the program is to have that voucher work with the Wave part of the Uber app, you have to go to your wallet and type in the code Wave Kyle into the promo code to be able to access the Wave component. Other than that, the programs are identical. The service area is anywhere in Kyle, the Kyle city limits. And you can start from anywhere, you can go anywhere, you just can't leave. And it's 24/7, so it can get you to your doctor's appointments, it can get you to your dining, it can get you to your shopping, anywhere you want to go. If even if you're out one night and you're not capable of driving yourself home from one of our entertainment venues, you can use it for that. So it covers all the bases, and it's going to be a real great amenity for people in Kyle. You don't have to live here to use it either. You just have to be 18 years old and be in Kyle. So I've already kind of gone over who can use it. The people with disabilities can use it. There's even, if you're hearing impaired or disabled, or sight impaired or disabled, there's even services that work for you on that. And Uber is our partner on this. Nobody else is doing it with us but Uber. And there are similar programs that Uber has initiated around the country, but I think ours is unique in that this is our primary and sole public transportation alternative. I don't think that exists in any other city that they're working with. So some intricacies and some specifics about how the program works. It is like if you get, like you're using Uber anywhere else in the country. Sometimes if the demand is high, the prices may change. Sometimes if we have to bring in a car from further away, sometimes there's going to be an extra charge for that. That's the same as if you're using it with or without a subsidy, but some people should expect that. How long should you maybe wait on your ride? That's also going to be a function of supply and demand. If a lot of people are using it, you might have to wait a little bit longer. But the app will tell you where your rider is, where your driver is. So you'll know before you finalize the ride how long it's going to take you to get picked up and to get where you're going. Like I said, you might owe more money if it's a peak time. And do you need to tip your driver? You know, if you want to. The tips aren't included in our voucher, but I'm sure they appreciate being acknowledged for providing great service.
Tip your drivers.
The same council and no-show policies that apply any other time are applicable, and the vouchers don't cover that. Can you request a ride in advance? No, you cannot. You have to be there ready for your ride, and that's the real beauty of this program. Is you don't have to call and schedule in advance. If you decide now you need to go somewhere, you pull up the app, schedule a ride, and it comes to get you and it takes you there. And it's doorstep to doorstep. What if the voucher doesn't work? You know, if the voucher doesn't work, there's a few troubleshooting things you can do. One is make sure that your Uber app and your City of Kyle app are up to date, and that you have the correct voucher in there. What if you don't have a smartphone? Unfortunately, you know, the platform runs on smartphones. So we're working on an alternative for people that don't have smartphones. But if, regardless if you're a regular user or somebody that's calling a Wave vehicle, you have to call it with a smartphone. That's the way it works right now. If you do have ideas for improvements or you need support, we have a telephone line, 512-234-3122, that you can call and leave a message, or you can send an email to uberkyle314@cityofkyle.com. Both of those will be responded to in no more than a business day, but probably sooner since it comes to me. How do you know if using Rideshare is safe? Well, Uber is a national brand. They're constantly looking at their safety programs and their safety protocols, and that was something that's very important to us. All the information I'm giving to you right now is available on our website, and there's links to even more information. So we wouldn't be partnering with Uber if they didn't have a reputation for being safe and didn't have the ability to provide coverage for something that might happen. And I just want to mention something about COVID too. They have a whole special program for COVID. It all starts with all riders and all users wear a mask. And then and it just goes from there. So you can click on the link on our website to find out the specifics about their COVID protocols. They also want you to be safe while you wait for your ride. And a lot of this, most people already know, but always stand in a designated pickup that shows up on your app. Don't spend a lot of time standing around in areas that aren't safe, or don't stand around in areas that aren't safe. The app will show you where your driver is, so make sure that you're out there by then. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be cautious. If where you are becomes unsafe, then don't be afraid to leave that location and reschedule your ride. Never get in a car with somebody that claims to be an Uber driver without asking to see their identification. When you schedule your ride, you'll know the driver's name and you'll know where they are. So if all that stuff doesn't match up, don't get in the car. And even if you think it is the Uber driver and you don't feel safe, don't get in a car you don't feel safe with. And use your smartphone flashlight if you need to confirm the license plate number and clearly identify the driver as it appears in the app. So safety is the number one priority for the City of Kyle and for Uber. So that's the end of my presentation. At this time, I'd like to invite Katie and anybody else from Uber that's on the call to make some comments.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Sivgan, and I'm a Client Success Manager at Uber Transit. First of all, just wanted to say thank you for inviting myself, my colleague Chris, to tonight's meeting. Myself and a couple of my colleagues have been working on bringing this partnership to life for a handful of months, and it's really exciting to just see it at the finish line. Speaking for Uber, anytime we get to partner with a city and produce a program that's going to have such a high impact on members of the community, it's really an exciting partnership to work on. And then throw in the 3.14 Pi branding, and it makes it also the most unique and exciting program to work on. So it's been a joy to work with Jerry and team. I'll let my colleague Chris also introduce himself, but just wanted to really reiterate how excited we are to partner with you all on this program and how eager we are to hear feedback from riders and Kyle.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Katie. My name is Chris Pangilinan. I lead public policy for public transportation at Uber and work with Katie on partnerships. And it's great to be here, and it's wonderful to see the work that you guys are doing in transportation in Kyle. And we always look at public transportation as a connector for people to bring them to social and economic opportunities and really give them freedom to explore their cities and live their lives, and being able to reduce the friction, if you will, of transportation with the work that you guys are doing with us and your transportation system in Kyle is fantastic for the people of the city. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing where things go with the partnership. And I will also say, I must say, I really enjoyed the proclamation about the night skies. I'm a fan of seeing the stars myself, so thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
All right, we're all available for any questions you might have.
Councilmember Rizzo, I don't have a question. I just want to thank everyone for their hard work on this. Jerry, thank you for always taking my phone calls and having a response. I really appreciate it. This program was real important to me, and as all of council as well. I know it's important to them and the citizens of Kyle, but thank you for always being there and always getting back to me with a response. But I think the staff, Uber, everyone, the council members that worked on this, I just want to thank y'all. This is going to benefit the citizens of Kyle tremendously. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you very much, council member.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah.
Yes, I second that as well, Councilman Rizzo. I can't explain how excited I am about this program. I've been kind of on the outskirts, kind of keeping my ear to the ground because I was particularly interested in this. And I want to thank my colleagues that have worked on this, Councilmember Villalobos, and in particular, Mayor Pro Tem Rick Coach. I know how much you have put into this and have worked on this program and trying to see it through and not even wanting to put it forward until it really was where it needed to be. That's a testament to your work and your diligence in putting forward great work. So I sincerely thank you for this, working with staff on bringing this program. I also want to say to our staff, Jerry, I mentioned you earlier. Appreciate you, sir. You and I go way back, and you're the epitome of a yes attitude here on Team Kyle, and I certainly appreciate that. Samantha and her team, and Matt and our IT director, kudos, major kudos to you all. You jumped right in to this project and understanding how IT and communications are a big part of this as well. And I think that was a big part of the visioning from the leadership of my colleagues. So I certainly appreciate you all doing that and getting excited about it as well. I know, Matt, you were really eager to get your hands into this and building that app and things like that. So that is really awesome and phenomenal. I too want to say that, it was particularly interesting to me and exciting to me that, the wheelchair accessible and the other options that are available, Braille and all those different things that Mr. Hendricks mentioned in his presentation, for you all to find solutions for those. I know that those created some hurdles throughout the past number of months, but once again, that yes attitude and pushing forward, turning over every leaf, using your resources, your network, and even then some. I can't thank you all enough for the work and the effort on this. To our partners, Uber, is it Matt, the second gentleman? You saved Katie. We like people that come on screen, so certainly appreciate that. But thank you for this partnership, and thank you all for jumping head in with us and buying into our vision and what we were wanting to do with this. And I think this is a great partnership, and I think this is going to be a program and an asset to our city for many to use. Obviously, we're going to learn a lot from this, but I think this is a great way to really move our city forward and getting people around the city for their various needs and services. So I certainly appreciate you all and the Uber company. Finally, I'd just like to say that I look forward to hopefully conditioning myself to utilize this. I think it's a great program. And I think I hope the citizens of Kyle find it useful as well. And I really do think they will. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ellison. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Thank you very much for this. In the beginning, when we started bringing this forward, and the Mayor Pro Tem at this point, and Jerry, I mean, we came a long way from what it initially started out. And I just can't say enough about thinking outside the box, using technology and several different platforms to create a program that is efficient, that's gonna do what we wanted it to do, and then provide transportation for some of our people that really, really need it. I mean, I can't say enough. I can't say enough of our Mayor Pro Tem and taking all the effort that he did with regards to this particular initiative. And Jerry, thank you for just keep on trying and not giving up. I mean, that was just tremendous. Looking and trying to find ways that we can kind of make this work and make it work for Kyle, make it work for Kyle. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilor Villalobos. Anyone else? I kind of wanted to just kind of reflect back on the last 4 or 5 years, because when I was first elected to city council, we had a contract with Jerry, who was it? I've just lost the.
It was San Marcos Taxi.
Well, yeah, there you go, Cap Metro, and that was some $80,000 a year, whether folks used it or not. We eventually canceled it because what we were paying for was this large contract that was a guaranteed amount for bus services to run, and they would run 1 or 2 times a week. You had to coordinate and get there, and it just wasn't efficient. It was a large sum of money. I think I think on some of that analysis, I remember you saying that per ride, it was something like over $100 is when you really amortized out the contract based on the usage. And so what we had was this need, and we knew we had a need to try to create mobility, but it was just not cost effective the way that we were doing it. This program represents something pretty special, because I think the council, after the Buda taxi, Kyle taxi attempt also didn't really work out. I think we were kind of at a loss. But when I was at a point where I was trying to maybe even throw my hands up, not knowing how to solve this, Mayor Pro Tem and Jerry and Councilor Villalobos just never gave up. And this is one of those kind of programs that doesn't really exist anywhere, that's born from just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and just not giving up and trying to use technology. And the biggest difference between the original contract for the bus service and this is the flexibility, and the cost is associated per ride, meaning we allocate dollars in the budget, but we expend those dollars for the transportation as the transportation is used, which means every dollar we're spending is accomplishing what we're trying to accomplish. It's moving. When we're expending the resources, we're moving people from one place to another in an affordable manner. And I would say our actual contribution in this program is much less than some of those large, type programs. We just don't have that kind of demand. And this is such a perfectly tailored program to slide right into where our situation is. And so I'm thankful and very happy that we were able to put that in this year's budget. Obviously, this is something we've been planning for a long time, and now we're ready to give it a whole nother try. And I'm excited to see where this goes. Thank you for Uber in particular for being willing to work with us on all this. I know this was a little bit unique, so let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to work out really well. Anyone else have anything to say?
I just one thing I forgot. I appreciate Mayor Pro Tem Coach giving the history of how this got to this point. I know council knows this, and particularly Mayor Pro Tem knows this. I like to, sometimes we don't always get the story of how things came about. Sometimes it's just when it's announced, it's like, oh, where did this come from? But this is a long-term project that was worked on. So I appreciate you giving us the background on that as well.
All right, unless there are any objections, we're going to move forward. Next up, presentation on WooCache Land Conceptual Plan, Scott Miller.
Thank you. James, do you think you put our land plan up on the screen?
I